Hello, this is Beauty from Brokenness again. I want to talk on the subject of anger. Anger is one of the five to seven processes of grief. This is a very serious, it is a very serious step, or one of the steps that's within the five or seven that you possibly may experience, possibly. I can say, since I guess, somewhat telling my story, and I have been around others as well. Um, Anger is not really directed at any one person. It can be a series of anger that just flow out of you, and you don't even mean it. Sometimes you don't even know it. I know when my husband died, my mother and I are very close, very close. But she told me that, and I'm glad she did, because I didn't know it. She told me that I was blaming her, or I was mad with her. That's what she said. She didn't say blaming her. She said that I was mad with her ever since Andre had been gone. And sometimes it's just like, when we was talking about grief and love and how it travels, and it's love always have a home or a heart to go to, but when your loved one is with the Lord, it comes back or return as void. Anger can do that as well. And so it comes as a result of usually a separation, whether it be death, divorce. First there's like shock, shock. Then you have denial. And then I think it is behind denial, anger. Or it may be bargaining. I believe it is bargaining. And then it comes to anger. And I chose anger today because of a conversation that I had with someone last week. They are presently in the grieving stages, and they was talking about suing the hospital, if they probably would have did this and that, and I just wanted to just take a moment to say, if you're experiencing any type of anger while you are grieving, it is absolutely normal. For myself and my story, I did. I just had so many thoughts all over the place, like, let me see what went wrong. How could it go wrong? I was mad. I was asking the Lord, um, my thing is, what I was telling him is this, because I had been seriously sick probably about 3 years before Andre became ill. His was a short illness, but I was really sick. And so they called, and he was called by my physician to tell him that he needed to get to the hospital. They didn't know which way it was going to go, but when he got there, I would not be in the room, I would be in surgery. And he gave the okay, and he understood that. And he used to talk about it a lot and say, Bonnie, you just don't know how it feels to get that type of phone call. I do know how it feels to get that type of phone call. So where I am with the anger is this. I told the Lord, God, I know that you are real, because I'm here. And 2 times that I'm aware of, where the doctor said no, you said yes. So God, if you did it for me, without a shadow of a doubt, what these doctors are talking about, I'm not listening to that, God. Because I know you're going to heal Andre. I know that, because you healed me. And I stood on that. I didn't move off of that for 6 weeks. Well, when it didn't turn out my way, or how I thought it should have turned out, based on me seeing God work and brought me back out, out of the woods, I was angry, because I knew that God could do it, but he didn't do it. And I love God. Always have. Always will. Wouldn't never say anything against the Lord Jesus Christ. But I got to a place where I couldn't pray. I couldn't sing my favorite gospel songs. I was just done. the ultimate defeat with Andre passing, because it's not like I experienced it through someone else, or I read in the Bible where someone died and Jesus raised them up. No, he raised me up. He raised me up because I was gone. So why wouldn't I believe that he would do the same for my husband? Why wouldn't I believe it? So I was angry. And I was angry with everybody at a certain time, not at the beginning. No, it don't come in at the beginning. It comes when everybody has gone back to work or to their homes or to their lives, and you have all this time, and now you're just looking around, and you're just now, the numbness has worn off, and now you see that, wow, this is real. This is real. But why? Should I? You may even have some guilt. You may be angry with yourself. Should I not try that home remedy? Should I have taken them to the hospital? Should I have called the doctor sooner? Should I not took them to the hospital at all? Should I have stayed with them? Y'all, I heard everything. You know why I've heard everything? I'm being raw with you today. Because I made a mistake and went into a doctor's office and told him that I could not live without my husband and I wanted to die. That's how I felt. And he tried his best for me to retrieve that back, because he's been saying about me for a very long time. And he said, Vonda, it's not like that. No, you just need some help with this. Y'all was very close and you need some help with this. And so we're going to get you some help. But do you really mean that you want to die? And I said, yes, I don't want to live. I want to die. And then he went on to ask me, well, Vonda, if you were to do something to yourself, would you harm yourself? I said, well, not with a firearm, I wouldn't. I said, but I would probably, I'm tired. I'm hurt. I'm broken. I'll probably just take some pills and just go to sleep. You know where that got me? To the mental hospital. Okay? Now, the stage is set. I got well real fast. I mean, real fast. When I first got there, what I was feeling, the anger and all of the things that was going on with me, man, I tell you, it was like a zoo and all the animals was put in the same cage. And I knew then. I got there about 2 o'clock in the morning and the doctor came in at 6. I started strategizing right there. Time I got in there. The ambulance took me. They took away my scooter because I had had a foot surgery. They said because the guys may take it from me and use it as a weapon and hurt other people. Y'all, I did not close my eyes at all, period. I have never been in an environment like that. So the doctor came in at 6 and they came and got me and I went to talk to him. You would have thought I was on a job interview. He asked me what was going on with me. And I explained to him exactly, and I did not miss a beat, and I did not tell a lie. I told him that the love of my life I met at 16. We was married at 21, 22. He died suddenly. I didn't know this was going to happen. We was preparing for a homecoming. God had healed me. I was sick, and when he didn't come home, I just didn't know how to handle it because we had been home together for so long. We had been a couple for so long. I told him that I hold a job at a Fortune 500 company. I have a bachelor's and a master's. After I can get well or whatever, I am planning on to get back into the workforce. And I went on and I told him we have 3 children. And he said, this is something different that we're dealing with. He said, but unfortunately, we don't have a grief program here. He said, you're here because you said you would kill, you will harm yourself. He said, but we don't have, but all grief is a form of depression. So we will treat you for some of that and make this be a voluntary stay for you instead of an involuntary stay. I said, okay. And he said, do you have any questions? I said, I do. I said, from where I just came from down there, I'm not used to that type of environment. And I'm afraid. I'm not afraid of anything but that's down there. He said, I'm going to have you moved. I'm talking about anger, but now I'm angry in another way too because I saw racism inside of a hospital that should be helping people who's sick, schizophrenic, depression, all kind of stuff. stuff I never even heard of. Mental things. Okay, mental. They run like you see on TV, and they see someone cutting up and two hole, and the lady comes out and give the shot, and they just go down. That. So that was at about, I was finished with him probably about 7 o'clock. I returned back to the zoo. At about 2 o'clock, it was a lady that befriended me, a real sweet lady. She was helping me because of my foot. And a nurse came and tapped me on the shoulder about 2 o'clock and told me to come with her and for me not to say anything to anybody. I felt so guilty because that lady had been helping me. She had been helping me. And so I went with this lady. She pulled my scooter out. She gave me my shoes. And she had my purse and everything. And we went to the other side. We walked and we walked and walked. And then when we got to the other side, I thought I was on a vacation resort. Pool tables, color TV. The people that smoke, they can go outside and smoke. What I noticed off the bat, though, that I was the first black female within this state. It was no black, and there was no black or white that I'm talking about now. But what I am saying is this: the lady that befriended me and helped me at the zoo, she was a little bit older. She deserved to have been up there and not been in that environment. And then the people where I went to, excuse me, y'all, when I just did that with my nose, something just happened when I speak and get emotional and my nose run. I'm so sorry about that. But the people that's down at the zoo, they have to have their meals in like a to-go styrofoam container. We got to go to the cafeteria. We got to have a salad bar. You had a choice of different things. I mean, I really got used to not being a part of the world and stepping out for a second. I actually needed that. I actually needed to step out for a minute. The busyness, the noise, okay? And so, but I did not like that on the other side, I saw so many that looked like me. And then when I got to the very nice side, I was the only one. So I've been wanting to be a voice about that a long time ago. But I got sick again, and every time I got sick, every time I try to make a move on something that's going to glorify God or bring something out, I would get sick. So what am I telling you is this: with anger, excuse me 1 minute, y'all. With anger, continue to pray. Know that it's normal. I did not know it was normal. I didn't know it was normal. I was just mad with the world. I just stayed at home. I didn't go to church. People wanted to come see me. I didn't let them come see me. They called. I went pick up the phone. Y'all, I didn't mean no harm. I didn't know no better. It always came from pain. A tremendous, enormous amount of pain. So what I'm telling you is, if you go through anger, and I pray you don't, but if you do, I hope that you can get through it quickly and get some help. But don't ever go to the doctor and tell him that you want to harm yourself if you're grieving. Don't do that. You go be okay. You don't want it. Don't do that. Okay? For me, don't do it. I'm praying for you. And I'm going to get off this video because my nose don't want to act right. But just know that beauty can come from brokenness. And I love you. Bye-bye.